Brace yourself, Inspector. You're about to learn the biggest secret in the Vaporwave industry. Halcyon Helen was never one person. I shared this role with my twin sister, Belinda.
That must have been her sister in the ballroom. I can't imagine what she's going through right now.
Are you serious? Halcyon Helen's got a twin sister? I mean, yeah, it's obvious. You know, if you think about it.
Belinda and I were the best kept secret in the business. Nobody could tell us apart. And certainly not a peevish, petty, miserable little worm like Quentin Ludovico. So when I discovered the truth, when I realized what Ludovico was about to unleash on this colony, Belinda paid the price.
My plan to save Halcyon. I'm not a murderer, Inspector. I acted in defense. I had to defend Halcyon's future.
Tell the truth, Ludovico. There's nothing safe about Spectrum Brown. You want to infest this entire colony with those disgusting parasites.
They're not parasites. These creatures are symbiotic life forms. The symbiotes evoke a feeling of joy in their host. A bliss so pure. Oh, don't you see, Inspector? A host only turns violent if they're carrying too many symbiotes, or if they see you as... Listen to me. I never wanted to take a life, but I had no choice. I couldn't let anyone destroy this colony's only chance at real happiness. But what about Helen? What about all the innocent people she's killed?
No one I crossed off was innocent. Have you met Dr. Blossom? She was practically a reptile. A cold-blooded psychopath who toyed with human lives in the name of scientific advancement. Leora Blossom wasn't a person. She was a weapon in Ludovico's arsenal. The mascot was a spy working for Ludovico. He was ordered to keep an eye on Belinda and I, and report back to his master.
You're being paranoid. I barely knew.
Don't try to deny it. Anywhere Belinda and I went, that mascot was there, just watching us with those cold, dead eyes. That doesn't surprise me at all. He was on Ludovico, Dr. Leora Blossom, Maria Keene, that flackwit of a mascot. They were standing between me and Ludovico, so I did what I had to do. I went through them. She was on Ludovico's side. When she realized I was alive, she refused to... I gave Maria a chance. I told her about Belinda. I asked for her help, but she turned me down. She was honor-bound to report me to Ludovico. Maria had a duty to her company, and I had a duty to Belinda. We both did what we had to. You know what you need to do. Help me avenge Belinda. Help...
Don't listen to... Listen to me. Throw in with Helen and you destroy Halcyon. Think of the...
You want me to explain my grand plan in the middle of a climactic moment like some two... We've talked about... It's a deal. We don't have a lot of time.
Not so fast. I'm sorry to do this to you, Inspector. Truly I am. Goodbye, Inspector.
Damn it. He sealed us in, but I think I know another way out. Follow me and... that switch down there. That should get us through.
Got it. Heads down.
Nice work. We're close to the exit. Nice work, Inspector. We may have put a stop to Ludovico's operations, but he's still at large. This entire complex has been exposed to those parasites. Law only knows how many they've... If they're showing symptoms, it's probably already too late. Then just like that, parasites... You're a step ahead of me, Inspector. An airborne pesticide of some kind. See you soon.
It's strange. When you walk through that door, I half expected to see Belinda and I practically shared a life. Losing her I appreciate the sympathy, Inspector. Thank you. We shut down Ludovico's distillation plant, but he's not gonna sit idly by. If he can't use Spectrum Brown to infect the colony, he'll resort to some kind of backup plan. I stole this formula from Dr. Blossom, a failed prototype of Spectrum Brown. Precisely. I see we're in your wheelhouse, Inspector. Or do you prefer Doctor? We're going to need 2 ingredients. A sample of essence of sprat, and 1 intact pod of parasite eggs. Cedric's warehouse in the Perea spaceport almost certainly carries a batch of sprat essence. As for the pod... I'm glad one of us is an expert. Most of what I know is based on Dr. Blossom's notes. Here's what I understand. Sprats have an adaptive immune system. They don't suffer from the diseases and parasites they carry. It's one reason why you'll see them in every corner of the colony. Dr. Blossom experimented with sprats and accidentally discovered a way to become immune to the parasites. You're a scientist and an inspector? You really are full of surprises. I borrowed a centrifuge from the research lab. Used the ingredients to synthesize an antiparasitic. I'm glad I could count on your expertise. Once you're finished, head to the pilot house. We'll hijack the control system and disperse the cure into the atmosphere. Are you worried I'm gonna shoot you in the... You're right. Here. There is one other thing. While you're at Perea's spaceport, have a... I know Cedric. There's nothing he wants more than a Best of luck, Inspector. I'm not... Belinda and I shared the role of Helen, but she was also the only person who knew the real me. I could be myself around Belinda, and she could be herself around... Parents, naturally. An agent. To them, Helen was a brand. Revealing our secret meant damaging that brand. Belinda and I saw Helen as... an act of theatric sleight of hand. We enjoyed the... And if I hadn't underestimated Ludovico, you and I probably wouldn't be talking about Belinda in the past tense. It should have been me in that ballroom. Never mind that. And then she... What I want is my sister back, but I'll settle for killing... Yes, Inspector. Leora Blossom and Maria Keene were on Ludovico's side. They chose to stand between me and my sisters. I had to cross... Would you believe me if I said I gave the constable a chance? I spoke to her in her office. I told her everything. Belinda... Maria said I was guilty of corporate sabotage, and that she had a duty to report me. She told me how sorry she was, and I told her the same thing. And Maria was defending my sister's killer. If someone murdered one of your crew in cold blood... So you do... Was there anything... You don't know how many times I relived this moment in my mind. I discovered... Ludovico decided to eliminate me. He programmed Burbage 3001 to fire on his command, and disabled the security cameras in the ballroom. Only... he didn't know about Belinda. I'm sure he thought it was my skull he caved in with a bottle of Spectrum Brown. Burbage covered his blow with the plasma shot, and then Ludovico wiped his memory. I don't think he expected you to be so competent. In the end, hiring you may have been his undoing. I went after Leora Blossom, and you were just one step behind me. I programmed an automech to steal some explosives from Cedric, but you weren't far behind. You were always hot on my heels, one step behind and catching up. I realized I'd have to throw in with you or eliminate you. Yes, this is mine. I'd kept notes on everything I suspected. Everything I discovered. It's all here, all in code. Words and phrases that had a special meaning to us. Only 2 people in the universe. That's... It's a... It was supposed to be just another marketing job. Rizzo's wanted Halcyon Helen to be the face of Spectrum Brown. Some hideous concoction served with a dead parasite. All we had to do was spend a few weeks on Eridanos. Shake some hands, sign a few autographs, drink a bottle of Spectrum Brown in front of a camera, and try to smile. Belinda didn't want to go. But I wanted a change of scenery. Belinda always hated endorsement deals. They felt cheap to her. She always believed her first priority was to our fans, and not the company that bought... Nothing. She took the job when I did. Belinda was an idealist, and Belinda and I arrived on Eridanos and played our usual game of trading places. We were practically flawless. Even Ludovico... Belinda was unhappy for the first few days. But then she met Bertie Holcomb. Bertie treated her like a human being, and... Bertie has a dreadful temper. I was worried about Belinda for a while, but she told me he'd never lay Bertie wasn't the person I should have kept an eye on. I had a feeling Ludovico was hiding something. Belinda stayed busy socializing with the celebrities around the complex. That gave me some time. I saw everything. The test subjects, the parasites. Spectrum Brown was never safe to drink. Those harmless, dead parasites at the bottom of every bottle. They would have sold out in a month. This colony loves novelty. To lead up any new product we... From Emerald Vale to Byzantium. A parasite in every brain and a grin on every face. I was careless. I was risking Belinda's life every step of the way, and I never even... I wish it were that easy. Was there something else you wanted to...